Hello book friends, I'm Allie and welcome back to my channel. So it is Friday and it is time for another weekend reading vlog. Last I left you guys, I was reading A Winter's Promise and The Family Game. That was the other one. I decided to put down The Family Game because I was not in a good headspace for like thrillery murder type situations, and I figured that it would be best for me to be in a better headspace to read that so that I don't end up disliking the book because I'm just not in the mood for it. So I will be picking that up when I'm in the mood for a thriller, but right now I'm just not at all in thriller mode like I thought I was. But I have read about 200 pages of this and I absolutely love this book. I haven't had a chance to finish it this week yet. I've been reading it a little bit slower. The language in this book is a little different. I know I've talked about this a little bit, but it reads kind of like a classic, and I think that that's because of the translation. That's what I'm assuming, at least, because it's translated from French. Obviously, you know, not everything is a direct translation from another language, so you'll have some discrepancies from like the original story. Not that you would know that reading this, but like just the way that it reads kind of I guess antiquated would be a good word. It feels a little, what is going on? The writing has a tendency to feel a bit antiquated, so it almost feels like reading a classic, and honestly, I don't hate that. I love classics, and I love the way that classics read. So this book, I'm just loving even more. And honestly, we've got, it's not enemies to lovers, but it is definitely leading into a slow burn situation, and I'm loving it. I'm just here for like them starting to have a spark with one another. I'm just waiting for it because like he's so angry and just bossy and grumpy, and she's a very headstrong individual. She's not exactly like sunshiny by any means, but she is a headstrong individual, and she doesn't take crap from people, and I appreciate that. Like, she tells it how it is, and she doesn't take crap from him, but she does respect him because whenever he says certain things, you know, she does respect the way that he feels. And I just absolutely love this story. I can't even express to you guys how much you should pick this book up because I'm just, it's so good. And I am going to try to finish this weekend. I have, I guess, around 200 pages left. It's 400 and something pages. So that has been kind of my main goal because I'm just really loving it, and I want to pick up the second book this weekend and jump into it. I also did start another book, which might be a bit of a surprise because I don't think that I've mentioned this at all, but I picked up Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, and I am loving it. I just picked it up, I think, yesterday, and I'm around 60 or 70 pages into this, and I did not know this, but this is like a 700-page book. This is a huge chunk of a book. And I also really love this edition. This cover is really pretty. But this book is amazing. These characters are just so full of life and just, they're just so sweet. And I did not expect to go into this book feeling the way that I do about these characters. It's like they're just so heartwarming and personable, and it's just really, really a sweet book. And so far, just the things that they talk about and the things that they do and the way that they go about their daily lives and the way that they talk about situations that they're handling in life, it's so heartwarming. It's one of those classics where you just kind of melt inside a little bit for these girls who are trying so hard to just live good lives and just to be good, I guess you could say. I don't know. This is such a cute book. And the youngest one, her name is Amy. She reminds me of Anne of Green Gables. I loved Anne of Green Gables whenever I read that book. I think it was like 7th grade that I read it. I loved Anne of Green Gables, and she reminds me of Anne so much, the way that she talks, and she gets kind of upset because she doesn't get to get, like, the newest, fanciest clothes that are trendy and that are in style at the time. She has to wear hand-me-downs that are very good quality, but they are most definitely not the colors and styles that she would like to have. And it just, the way that it reads reminds me of Anne so much, because she's the same way about having like specific types of dresses, and it's just so cute. I just love it so much, and I'm excited to get more into it and just read about these sisters and their bond, and it's so good. It's so good. So these are the two that I have been reading. Also, by a stroke of luck, I got my Green Glass House audiobook back. I think I've got about 100 pages left of this. I am very close to the end, and I'm still loving this just as much. I loved this the first time I read it, and I had forgotten a lot of small details about this book, which is just making me fall in love with it all over again. And I have the second book on my TBR card. I know I talked about that before, but I'm really glad that I decided to go ahead and do a reread. That way I'm prepared to go into the second book, remembering all the little details. And just Green Glass House is so cozy. And it's one of those enigmas that there's just like so much about the house itself, and the person who like originally lived in the house was a smuggler, and a lot of the mystery that surrounds the past of this house, and the people who've lived in this house, and the people who do live in the house now, Milo and his family, and all the smugglers that they encounter. It's a really fun and whimsical book to read, especially during the holidays, because there's so much talk of the holiday cheer and opening presents and getting prepared for Christmas, because it leads up to Christmas and then it carries on afterwards. And like right now, I think I'm on Christmas Day, as a matter of fact. And they just talk about like drinking hot cocoa and baking cakes, and they talk about the snow falling, and like it's just got those vibes, those winter vibes, you know what I mean? And it's so cute for a middle grade especially. I just love middle grade because it's just so heartwarming, especially like if you're in a bad like mental space. Sometimes it's fun to read a middle grade because it's going to be, well, for me, it's like always exactly what I need. And it's always got like that lighthearted, easygoing feeling. And that's something that sometimes you just kind of need that. And Little Women, I think, is marketed actually as middle grade, I believe. Whenever I looked up some of the classic like special editions, they were all marketed in younger age groups. So I guess that might also be why that one is so heartwarming and a classic for the ages. But like, I don't know, I just want to rave about Little Women because I've been loving it so much. Other than that, I did actually download some books onto Kindle Unlimited because I have no chill when it comes to not knowing what I want to read. And I heard some people recently talking about reading Zodiac Academy, and I know I've heard people say that this book is not great, that you go into it to have fun, and that you read it so that you can just kind of get away from life, that it's not exactly the best written, but it is like a fun time. So I'm going into it looking at it as a fun time and an escape from daily life. And so far, I think I've only read a few pages, but like, it's interesting, and I'm excited to kind of see where we're going with that. Other than that, I want to ramble a little bit longer because I am so excited. On Tuesday, Brandon Sanderson's new book comes out, and I could not be more excited. That is the book that I have been waiting for a year now. Well, a little over a year, because I finished reading all of the Mistborn books last year. And I'm so excited! The Lost Metal, or the Last Metal? The Lost Metal? I can't remember if it's Lost or Last. But it comes out on Tuesday, and I can't wait. Oh my gosh, he left it on such a cliffhanger with the last book, and I was sobbing at the end of the last book, and I was so angry at Brandon Sanderson for doing tropes that I don't typically like really well and making me love it. And now I really have to know. Like, I've been waiting. And his motto is, there is always another secret. So I know that this book is going to wrap up everything, but there's more. He's already said he's going to write more in the Mistborn series, that he wants it to keep going. And he said he wanted it to start out like basically kind of in the Dark Ages. You know, they don't have any kind of technology, and now we're kind of in a steampunk era with the Alloy of Law series. And then he's wanting to take it a little further into the future with the next run that he does. So I'm looking forward to that, but I'm also dreading that, because his books are so immersive. And once you get into the stories and the characters, you just want more. And unfortunately, the way that he is writing all of his series, he's bouncing between his series. So he'll work on one and get it published in a year, and then he'll be working on another one. And so it rotates, and who knows when he'll decide to come back to the Mistborn series. But I also, just between you and me, I also wish that he would write more in the Warbreaker series. Well, he said that he thought he might write a sequel. It's not necessarily a series. I wish that he would write a sequel, and he recently did say that he might write a sequel for Elantris. I loved Elantris. It's a little bit slower, not gonna lie. That one is a little bit slower, and Warbreaker is a little bit slower, but I loved it. I loved the characters and the politics and the world building, the magic system, everything about that book I absolutely adored. And I want more of those characters, because those characters, like, it takes quite a while for you to really get into some of the characters in that story. And I was really sad because you only get like a small amount of time with them. And he was saying in the second book that he was thinking about writing that we would have like a whole entire book with some of those characters. And I would love to see some of their adventures. But like, he said he might not go back to that series. That he probably would not go back to that series. And so now, like, I'm a little bit heartbroken because I really wish that he would. But that's neither here nor there. And I'm a little bit all over the place right now. So anyway, I don't have the boys tonight or tomorrow night. They are with their grandma because I have to go to a wedding tomorrow. And I am going to spend this evening just reading as late as I can manage to keep myself awake, which probably won't be super late because I'm really bad at keeping myself awake. Coffee does nothing for me. If I were to drink a coffee right now, it would probably put me to sleep faster than if I just don't drink a coffee, to be honest with you. So I'm not even going to go that route. I'm just going to try to keep myself awake, and who knows what I'll pick up, but I wanted to try to read a little bit in the books. I'm surrounded, like, you can't see it, but I'm actually like surrounded by books here because I never know exactly what I want to pick up at any given time. Does anybody else like that? I can't help it. It's just who I am. I always have to have like at least 5 books surrounding me so that I can pick up random things at random times. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I will try really hard to check back in with you guys before I fall asleep tonight so I can let you know what I've been reading, and I will definitely check back in with you guys tomorrow because I'm going to be flying solo to the wedding. It is a long way away, and I am also going to do a little book shopping because I'm going to be out of town where there are other bookstores and such. Or better ones, whatever. Anyway, the point of all that I'm saying is I'll talk to you later. Bye! Good morning, book friends. I did not check back in again last night because I could not hold my eyes open, and I knew that it would probably not make any sense. So I decided I would just hold out till this morning and talk to you guys now. I have been driving for a little bit. I decided to stop and get a coffee, which I did. And this is actually really, really good. It is a shaken, hold on, let me start over. Iced, toasted vanilla, latte, shaken espresso with peppermint chocolate cold foam. It's a lot to remember to say. I usually use my app, but like, it is absolutely delicious. It's got the toasted vanilla with the peppermint chocolate on top, and it tastes so good. And they use espresso. I think they use blonde espresso in this, so like, it's got a little bit of a different flavor than regular espresso. It's delicious either way. I'm really excited to have that. And also, I had to do a little last minute Christmas shopping while I'm up this way because I had like one more gift to purchase for my children, and it was on sale, so that's a win. I have listened to several more chapters of Little Women. I love this book so much. I have to implore you, if you have not read this and you are a fan of classics, pick this up. Don't delay. Read it now because it's amazing, and it starts out right at Christmas time. So like right now is the perfect time to read it anyway. I feel like right now I'm just listening to the audiobook, and the audiobook that I'm listening to, I need to find out who the narrator is, because she does a really, really good job. I really enjoy the way that she does her inflections and her vocal changes and things of that nature. Just a really, really good job. But this book is so charming. I just can't get over it. So one of my favorite classics is Dandelion Wine by Ray Bradbury. And in that book, we follow a little boy, and you see each chapter is like its own confined little story of something that happens within this town that he's growing up in. And I think it's when he's 12 years old, because he says that that's like the turning point for him growing up and for things changing. And so I think it's the summer of his like 12th year of being. And that book was so good, and I loved it. It has very much the same feel as this, but this follows sisters, and each chapter follows them doing something different. It's in order, it's chronological, but it's not necessarily like day-to-day living and things of that nature. We see the girls do different things. So like in the very beginning, they're celebrating Christmas, and they have like, each chapter just kind of goes into detail about something that they're doing, and it all comes together, and they're just like individualized little stories that are happening, and it just warms your heart so much. I found myself laughing out loud and smiling, and just like in general being so happy and feeling enlightened by this story. Like, I know I've never read it before, I think I've said that, but like, I know that it's gonna make me cry. I have heard, I know, because you know, it's a classic, it's been around a while, I've heard things, and I know I'm gonna cry, but at the same time, it's just so good. I can't get over it. I'm going to listen to about 3 more chapters of that while I'm out and about, and then I'm going to start on A Winter's Promise. I've got to get caught up on that book. I'm going to be reading around 50 pages of it today at least, which I've got a lot of driving to do, so that's no issue whatsoever. But I might read a little more of it today because I want to. I'm really, really enjoying it. I really like the story, and this slow burn is killing me. And it's like she just got to I think they're called spires, where each like section of this planet is. It's very difficult to explain, I guess. The world got broken apart, and so now there are spires that exist with whole entire kingdoms on them. And she's been married to well, she is being married off to a man who lives on the Winter Spire. It's called the Pole. And so she's just gotten here, and she's seeing a little glimpse of the magic that's taking place on this spire. And it's like winter time, and she is like dealing with this slow build grump, and it's a great time. It really is a great time. Other than that, for now, those are the only two books that I'm really wanting to read today. I brought plenty of other stuff with me because, like I said, I've got all day. I'm about to go to a bookstore, which I've got a little bit of a drive to get there, and then probably I'm just gonna sit in the cafe once I get there. It's a Barnes & Noble, so I'm just gonna sit and chill there probably and read for a while because I have a little bit of time to kill before I have to be at the wedding. And it's just me, so it's gonna be a fun, cozy day, just hanging out and getting some reading done, which honestly, it is really cold outside today. I guess Tennessee decided that it was gonna go from 70 degrees to 40 degrees, and it's just kind of insane because yesterday is like short sleeves and super comfortable, and today it's like the wind just wants to cut through you. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I will catch up with you guys in a little while and update you on progress. Hey guys, lighting is not exactly the best because it's super cloudy, but I have arrived at Barnes & Noble. I am going to go do a little shopping. I am not really like wanting to pick up anything. There's not anything that I'm just specifically going in to get. I was just gonna kind of peruse because I had time to kill. So I guess I'll update you guys on what I find if I get anything, and I'll be back shortly. Hello, me again. So I've done a little more shopping than just Barnes & Noble. I found a big sale at Carter Baby Store, and I have put off shopping for clothes for so long. I felt like it was time that I needed to pick up a few things. So I got a really cute haul of some just basic baby clothes that I really just need that I don't have. So that's good. I'm glad I got some of that out of the way. I feel a bit more prepared now. And at Barnes & Noble, I found Lindsey Sterling's older Christmas CD, The Warmer in Winter, and this is the deluxe edition. I've been looking for this, and I was actually surprised that I haven't been able to find it. Like, apparently it's, I don't know, I guess just not as available as it was. I don't understand why, but I'm so excited. I love this CD, and her new CD just came out too, and I've already picked a copy of it up, and I've been listening to it. Now I can listen to both Christmas CDs, and these are like my favorite. I love Lindsey Sterling, and her Christmas music is just so, I don't even have a good word for it. It's just so cheerful, and I like sometimes to not have a lot of lyrics, because those little Christmas jingles that you hear all like every year that start playing in November and play all the way through like the end of Christmas always get stuck in your head. So if you're listening to something that's like a little less vocally, then it's not so bad to get stuck in your head, and these are always just easy listening. So I'm really excited that I found that. I also found a really pretty 150th anniversary edition of Little Women, which I did not realize that that book was that old, but now I know. But I found a really, really pretty copy. I did not get it because the cover was damaged. I almost did, but the cover was damaged and they only had one copy. So I'm gonna see if I can maybe find that one online and just get a copy of it that way. But it was so pretty. Like, the book itself was just gorgeous, and it had like illustrations in it that were really cute. So hopefully maybe later I will be able to find a copy of that. But I'm about to find somewhere to post up for a little while and read. I've got a couple hours before I need to be anywhere or do anything. So I think it's about time to just chill for a little while now that I have some shopping out of the way. So I'll catch up with you guys after I've done some reading and check in. And I'll talk to you later.
Money? I'll have a grand feast, for I haven't tasted a lime this week. I felt delicate about taking any as I couldn't return them, and I'm actually suffering for one.
Hey friends, and welcome to Monday. I did not film anymore on Saturday because I had to drive back home after the wedding. The wedding was outside. It was 40 degrees. It was really cold, so I couldn't really film anything at that time, and then had a really long drive home, and then completely crashed out. Like, I got home and I was so exhausted from a long day, I just completely crashed. So I ended up not filming anymore Saturday, and yesterday was super busy because we were actually had to wrap a bunch of presents to get under the tree before we had to go pick up the kiddos. Trying to get everything kind of ahead of schedule for Christmas this year, just in case. I'm gonna be prepared this year. I'm almost finished with Christmas shopping. Like, this is the first time, like, maybe ever, that I've almost been finished with Christmas shopping in, like, the beginning of November. And honestly, it feels weird because usually it's boiling down to the last second for me every single year. And I'm like wrapping gifts wrapping presents last minute, and like, it just feels so strange to have Christmas presents wrapped. Well, they were under the tree. They're all like there, and like it's not even Thanksgiving yet. It's such a strange feeling. What? So I did read quite a bit over the past few days.
I don't like them.
I'm gonna get you in just a second. I'm gonna get you in a second. So I did do quite a bit of reading over the past few days.
They were in.
It's a surprise.
They were in.
I'm almost 200 pages into Little Women today. I'm like right at 190, I think. I usually stop on chapters, that way I know where I'm at. But this is such a good book. I've said this over and over, but I love it. And every day I look forward to picking it up and reading 3 chapters out of it. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but this is over a 700-page book. Like, it's almost 800 pages. And I'm flying through it. Like, I just can't get enough of it. These characters are so charming. I absolutely love these, like, they're little anecdotes almost, each chapter. And they have, like, moral lessons to them. And it's just one of those books that makes you feel so many different things. And you just fall in love with each of these characters, and you just want more of their lives. And that, at least that's what I've encountered so far. And the last story that I read was, it was so funny. I was actually laughing out loud because the daughters decided that they wanted to take a week off. They weren't going to do any kind of housework. They weren't going to do anything. They're going to take a week off. And the mom was like, okay, take a week off. And so she was like behind the scenes making sure that some stuff got done. But she let them by and by not do any of the stuff that they usually do during a week. And by the end of the week, the girls were getting to the point that they were frustrated because nothing was like going to plan the way that they needed it to, and they weren't doing any of their normal chores. And then the very last day of the week, the mom is like, hey, I've got stuff to do. I'm leaving. I gave the housekeeper the day off, so you're on your own. So after a whole week of them not keeping up with their normal chores and everything, she leaves them for the last day, and it's just like chaos. And it was so funny, and it was so cute, and it was even a little sad because like something happened, and because of some neglect that happened throughout the week, one of the girls had an issue with one of her pets, and just like, I don't know, the whole entire time I was like, this is such a good moral story for children who are this age to understand the value of doing work and taking away something from doing the work and helping out. And I just thought that it's just so well written. So I'm finished raving about that book for now. I did read quite a bit more of Green Glass House too. I am a little under 100 pages from the end of that. I read quite a bit yesterday. I'm still loving Green Glass House. There were some things that I actually forgot about the story. So it's a really good thing that I'm rereading it and preparing for the second book, because I really wanted to go into it remembering everything. And then also, yesterday I had to do grocery shopping. And so I ended up listening to this because I needed something that I'd already listened to and it was just kind of easygoing. And I ended up reading like 100 pages of this last night, and I just still love this story. They've just, the first 100 pages is just them in New York, and then the whole rest of the book is them in, I think, Eldovia? I think that's the name of it. I'm not 100% sure. But like, they're at this castle and they're doing Christmassy things in this other country with like snow and the hot chocolate festival. Just all of it is so cute. And I have gotten behind actually on A Winter's Promise, which is the one that I've been wanting to read, but this book, the narrator for this book has a very thick accent, so sometimes it's a little difficult to understand what she's saying, and I need the physical book to kind of fill in the gaps. So I've been trying to listen to this one like in the afternoons, whenever I can sit down and have the book in my hand. So I have gotten a little bit behind on where I want to be in this one. So my main focus for today is to read this one and to get caught up, because I do really like this story and I'm excited to get more into it. And I will let you guys know later. I think we're gonna just chill here on the couch today. We're kind of just hanging out. They're watching TV. I am going to try to do my best to read some more of this one today, and like that's the main one. And I'm gonna read some more of Little Women because I just really want to read more of that story today also. And other than that, I'm so freaking excited because my package with the Lost Metal just shipped out and I'll have it tomorrow, and I can't wait. I can't wait because I know that that book is going to take precedence as soon as I get it. I want to try to do as much reading today as I possibly can so that I'm kind of ahead of where I need to be to make sure that all of my books get finished in time. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Hey friends, it's Tuesday, and Tuesday, and I'm here to wrap this up. As often as this happens, does anybody else, which I was talking to my best friend about this, but does anybody else have the issue where Libby will just give you your holds like way early and then you get everything like all at once and you're like, well crap, now what am I gonna read? Because everything's thrown out of whack. That's happened to me this week. I ended up not reading a whole lot yesterday, so I don't really have a whole lot to update there. I didn't even read Little Women. Surprise, surprise. Even though I was looking forward to it, I just had a lot going on yesterday. We had a lot of appointments and running around to do, so I ended up not having a lot of time. It is exactly 500 pages. So I have 500 pages left with these characters, and it's a little bittersweet to have 500 pages left with characters that you really love, knowing that their stories are going to wrap up, because in the next installment that he's going to do of Mistborn, which will be Era 3, I'm sure it'll be new characters, because that seems to be kind of how he's taking these books. Each book is like descendants from characters that were before, but are each of like the series. And so I'm feeling like the next era will probably be descendants of these characters, but these characters probably won't be in them because it's supposed to be, you know, years and years later. At least that's the way that he is talking about continuing the series. So anyway, I will be telling you guys about this book on Friday when I start my next vlog. Until then, I don't have anything else to update. I hope that you guys have had fun hanging out with me this weekend, and I will catch you guys in the next vlog.